All right, caller, can you hear me?
Hello, this is U.S. Senator Cory Booker from New Jersey.
Okay, Cory Booker, what brings you to ABO Live? Aren't you busy with the whole Brett Kavanaugh thing, trying to filibuster, trying to prepare for your 2020 presidential run?
I think that you're kind of mischaracterizing what I was doing, and you would have had to be in the room to understand really what we were going through there. You see, Anthony, what this has done, it's kind of made me go through an emotional transformation. It's almost as if, you know, all of this time I have been listening to these other people, and they just go droning on and on and on. And I feel like I really have to speak out and make everybody know that the things that I'm saying are all about having other people hear what I think all the time. So I mean, I don't understand why your first question was like that, but you can probably. I mean, do you have any other questions? I think that the testimony of Dr. Ford speaks for itself. So I believe that Brett Kavanaugh should be put in a cage and dropped onto King Kong's island and ripped to shreds. I believe that next week I'll present that bill to the full Senate, and I hope that I have your support on that.
King Kong's Island, is that a real place or is that from a movie just like the whole Spartacus reference? I'm not really sure that we're living in reality here, sir.
Excuse me, I believe you know you're really being very derisive, and this is something that me and my colleague in the House, Congressman Adam Schiff, have discussed many times. So I'd appreciate you if you respect our work.
All right. Shout out to Adam Schiff, another interesting guy. How do you feel about Miss Ford not really knowing what year the alleged incident happened? I mean, if you're talking about, survivors, as you call them, a lot of them remember time, date, place, smell, all that, but she doesn't remember the year. But she knows how old she was. How do you feel about the gaps in her testimony? Are you still going to say you believe her, even though she doesn't really have the story straight on her end?
That's kind of a good point, Anthony, but you really don't understand the situation. And I, being a trained lawyer and also a senator from the great state of New Jersey, go Devils, is, you know, it really qualifies me to give you a little perspective. So a lot of witnesses don't remember key details of things that happen in traumatic incidents. And it's not only victims of certain crimes. I sometimes cannot believe that the people of New Jersey have elected a bald-headed potato face to the U.S. Senate. And I sometimes can't believe, you know, sometimes that I represent a state that's basically a garbage dump between Delaware and New York. So, I mean, there's many ways that people can forget things that are very important. But I guess sometimes you just have to remind yourself and have legal counsel to tell you what to say.
Oh wow! I mean, that's pretty interesting. I mean, but you know, key points I understand. Some points you may not remember about a particular situation, but how does she know she was 15 years old, but yet doesn't know the year that the alleged incident happened? How can you know one but don't know the other?
I don't know. Maybe, I mean, the number 15 is pretty important. I mean, maybe you're being insensitive because a lot of my Latino constituents, shout out to you, celebrate their quinceañera at 15. So, you know, maybe you should just be a little more sensitive with your questions, Anthony.
I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it because I know that at the end of the day, you want the FBI investigation to get to the bottom of it as well, correct?
Yes, the FBI, and if not the FBI, I've already written letters to the U.S. Marshal Service, the Inspector Gadget, the Good Wife TV show, as well as Cagney and Lacey from the 1980s ABC series.
We're talking about fictional characters here, so we need to stay in reality. We're not talking about movies.
Well, I mean, we're talking about potential fictional events here, so we might as well get fictional characters to investigate them.
Oh, so you admit that the situation that Christine Ford is talking about is probably fictional, probably didn't happen?
Well, I mean, that's not what I said. I said that we're talking about potentially fictional events. I mean, that's really, sometimes I consider the past 2 years to be a complete fiction. It was just not a long time ago, Anthony. I used to get into fake fights with Conan O'Brien about whether Newark is a dump. And it's not as if people can actually argue that Newark isn't a dump. So you need somebody from the entertainment industry to kind of spin it so that it doesn't look like a place where basically once you reach the city limits, you lock your car door so you don't get carjacked.
Well, I'm glad you're honest about that because, a lot of people, they're senators, governors, congressmen or whatever, they don't really want to tell the truth about their particular place because they don't want to anger their constituents. How do you think people will feel in Newark to hear you say that?
I mean, I kind of don't care anymore since I don't really have to live in a place where basically, you have people getting shot all the time. And, there's we waste basically $200 million of Mark Zuckerberg's money on schools by paying stupid administrators and union teachers. So, what does the old saying go? Out of one dumpster fire into a new one. And, I'm in D.C., so I found my new one.
Well, I see that. So 2020, are you going to run? And if you do, who's going to be the vice president you pick?
Yes, in 2020, I want to explain to you what makes me different from the current president. President Donald Trump is a serial groper. And as many of the social media people out there want to point out, I have also admitted to groping somebody. But it was a sensitive grope. And I will sensitively screw all of you over after 2020. I will continue to be a whore for corporations and to basically do literally everything that both parties already do, but it will just be a lot more sympathetic and you'll feel better afterwards.
Well, that's not really a great way to sell yourself for 2020, but hey, you said it, it's out there. I don't think I have anything else. You pretty much summed it all up. So I thank you for the call.
Well, it worked well in 2008 and 2012, didn't it?
Hey, I suppose it did, but I don't think you have the juice, so to speak, that Barack Hussein had.
Is that Jews reference a racist reference to O.J. Simpson, sir? What kind of, you and the other white male privileged people, you just can't. I mean, I represent New Jersey, man.
Sir, I'm actually black, sir.
In comparison to the rest of America, New Jersey is the blackest hole in the world.
Wow.
So, all right, Mr. Logan, I think I'll let you keep with your demonization, and I'll go look for Chris Cuomo and his. I'll just stare into his huge nostrils on his show when I'm talking to him.
Thank you for the call as always. Definitely appreciate it.
Have a good night.
All right, that was Cory Booker. And that wasn't a troll call. That was really Cory Booker. I suppose that they watched the show up there in D.C., so it was all good. But let me get to my next call here.